The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. R.J. Barrett missed the last two games because of illness. Back tonight. Team high 28 points. Knicks late down 106-103. But a key game for New Orleans for their playoff positioning, and they are able to prevail. Herbert Jones had 15 points, hits that one. And the Pelicans beat the Knicks tonight. Final count was 113-105. Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson all out tonight for the Knicks. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak. Robinson resting, Randle out with a bad ankle. Jalen Brunson resting that right hand. Bottom line, Wally, the Knicks played well. It was tied at the half, tied after three, but the result didn't matter to the Knicks, and the result means a lot to New Orleans.
That's what it's all about, and that's what happens in the NBA. When it comes to winning time down the stretch of games, the team that needs it's going to normally win it. The Knicks gave great effort in this one. Quickley was outstanding again as the point guard. Grimes was great. Barrett did a great job getting the ball to the basket, making things happen at the hoop. But this is a monster game for the New Orleans Pelicans. We know how wild that West play-in scenario is. 5, 6, 7 is completely up in the air. So the Pelicans needed to hold serve. They did. They got the win that they needed.
Yeah, this was a neck-and-neck game, a good battle, and then the last 5 minutes are when it's going to matter the most. And what the Pelicans did was make sure they secured the home win. The 14-5 run in the last 5 minutes pretty much closed this thing out. The Knicks only scoring 5 points in the last 5 minutes of the game. But most importantly, everybody gets out of the game healthy, and there's one game left in the regular season before we get to the playoffs.
We all know how important R.J. Barrett is going to be to the Knicks' postseason fortunes. Wally, he was under the weather the last couple of games, didn't play at all. Play tonight started, and as I mentioned off the top, led the team with 28 points.
Yeah, he was very aggressive, took 24 shots to get those 28 points, and was also 0 for 9 from the three-point line. But he was doing what was working, and it was taking the ball to the basket, using his strength, using his size, breaking down the defense, finding his teammates. There he finds Jericho Sims. Here he goes right at Brandon Ingram and just takes it right through his chest. Weight roomed him right there. This was a weight room game for R.J. Barrett. He had a physical advantage. This is what we do to you all the time, Bill Pito. We weight room you up here at the desk. There's Evan Fournier, nice little cut, gets that backdoor play. But notice, R.J. Barrett not settling, getting the ball to the basket, getting himself to the free throw line. Nice productive game back after that, little sickness that he had. And he's going to be an important piece in this playoffs. R.J. Barrett, the way he can score and impose his will, taking the ball to the basket, getting those easy points. Sometimes the three-pointer isn't always there in the playoff-type atmospheres. Sometimes you need to take the ball to the basket when you need a basket, and R.J. is doing that right now.
And that's something Tom Thibodeau always talks about with all of his players, is do what you do best. That's it. Just if you bring that, everything else falls into place. So 22 of his 28 points were in the paint in this game, right? Mm-hmm. So he gets it done in the paint, 11 of 14 in the painted area. That's where he's at his best. So those 9 three-point attempts, the misses and everything like that, a couple of them were really good looks, some at the end of the shot clock. But once you get into with Brunson back and Randle back, obviously, for R.J. Barrett, that's where he's going to contribute to the team, doing exactly what you saw tonight, getting in the paint, getting 22 points in the paint. That's a lot of production for a guy playing on the wing.
When you're doing that well, going to the basket, he still took 9 threes. He still took 9 threes.
Doesn't need to.
No, but when you're open, you got to take the threes.
Right. They were open looks for the most part.
The last one, a couple at the end of the game that he could have made this a real ball game, given the Knicks the lead or gotten them tied down the stretch, but he couldn't knock them down. But you have to keep the defense. You have to take what the defense gives you. And the defense, if you're killing them in the paint and you're scoring 22 points in the paint, they're going to start sagging off you. And that's a shot he can make. He just couldn't hit a three from today at all.
All right, as for Immanuel Quickley, guys, before tonight, 19 starts this year, averaging Allen 22.1 points per game. Starts again tonight because Brunson is out again, and Quickley went for 24 points.
Yeah, he's been keeping it rolling. That's the good thing to see again as we're watching all these young players and the roles that they're going to play in the postseason. Quickley already has some postseason experience, but 24 points, hitting 6 threes as well, 6 of 10. So the shooting for him hasn't gone away, and he has been red hot down the stretch of this season. His shot is fluid. You can see he knows where to get to his spots. I'm sure, Wally, you could speak on that. When a young player figures out where I can go on the floor to get my shot, the runner that he's got, this ability as well, and inbounds, just smart, crafty, all the things that we've seen Quickley develop into this season continue to be on display. And he can do a lot of things. He could be a scorer. He could be a passer, or, playmaker, and the other part of it, of course, is the defense that he continues to bring.
Yeah, he's big time on that defensive end of the floor, and I just love the command he plays with as the point guard. You know, he gets the ball into the right hands. He takes care of the ball, doesn't turn the ball over much. He's great, you know, in organizing the offense, getting everyone their spots and getting everyone their touches, along with getting his points. And that's an impressive skill, because when you're a point guard in this league, you can get your points, but you also got to remember you got 4 other guys that need to eat out there, and they need to get their touches, get their buckets, and he's really got a good grasp of that.
Well, if you're out there for the Knicks and you know you're locked in to the 5th seed, you know you're locked into a first-round matchup against Cleveland, does that change how you approach these games at all?
No. No, if I was playing at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning against you two, I would play the same way I would play if it was a playoff game on the line. That's just how NBA players, they're wired. That's how their DNA is. They compete no matter what they do. They compete when they're out there on the basketball floor. You get hurt when you don't take the game seriously and you don't try to win that game. You know, when you're out there, you coach to win, you play to win. That's what Tom Thibodeau and his staff does. That's what the players who are out there on the floor when their number's called do. That's how you play the game of basketball. You respect the game.
I was out there for cardio. I was out there as a practice dummy. That's the difference between us. But no, I mean, these games, you play at 100%. You have to, because you go into the playoffs, you want to make sure that you haven't dropped your level at all. And that's why I feel for these young guys who are getting the bulk of the minutes right now with Brunson and Randle out, I think it's a great experience for them, and it's a great way for them to get themselves ready. And you get that week off. There'll be some hard practices, and they get into the postseason.